Boss Martin, I'm sorry. Ronan Jenkins' eyes were filled with fear as he mumbled. If he was going to hit Martin Henderson, no matter how bold he was, Bennett would not dare to do it. Martin Henderson slapped Ronan Jenkins hard on the face, knocking him to the ground. Then, he turned around and bowed to Kevin Bennett respectfully and said, "Sir, I'm sorry for scaring you." His movements were done in one go. There was complete silence. The security guards rubbed their eyes in unison. They could not believe what they had just seen. The richest man in Beverly Hills bowed to a young man? If this scene were to spread out, the entire city would probably shake. What exactly is the identity of this young man? The few security guards felt their minds tremble and their breathing became heavier than usual. "He is too serious. I'm fine," Kevin smiled and said. He didn't need anyone to say that he could recognize the person in front of him. After all, he was the richest man in Sacramento. Kevin often saw pictures in financial daily newspapers. "Young Master Kevin, this way, my negligence. Please, be at ease. Today, I will make those people who offended you pay the price." A hint of viciousness flashed across Martin Henderson's eyes. Ronan Jenkins and the rest had almost caused him to lose his life. Naturally, he could not let them off lightly. "President Martin, have mercy. President Martin, I was wrong. Please let me go." As soon as Martin finished his words, Ronan and the security guards kneeled on the ground together, tears streaming down their faces. The price of Martin Henderson's words was not only losing them their jobs, losing both their arms and legs was also light. "Shut up," Martin shouted coldly, and the few of them immediately went silent. Martin's expression was cold. The reason he could turn from a poor kid into the current richest man in the city was not that he only knew how to do business. Since these people dared to offend Kevin Bennett, they had to be prepared to pay the price. Kevin narrowed his eyes. He could tell that Martin was serious, and that Ronan Jenkins and the others would be severely punished. "Forget it, Mr. Henderson." Kevin Bennett waved his hand and said, "They didn't do anything to me. Just let them go back to work. If you feel sorry for me, you can deduct a month's salary from each of them and treat it as punishment." In the end, Kevin's heart softened. Ronan Jenkins and the others were indeed at fault, but it was not to the point of being ridiculous. Kevin did not want to ruin the lives of Ronan and the others because of him. After leaving the Bennett family, in the 3 years he was a delivery boy, Kevin Bennett understood many things. For those at the bottom of society, just being alive was sometimes very difficult. Perhaps it was just a casual decision for him, but Ronan Jenkins and the others, it was a decision that concerned their entire lives. Martin Henderson was a little surprised, but since Kevin had already said so, he must agree with Kevin's opinion. "Hurry up and thank young Master Kevin." Martin glanced at them coldly. Hearing this, Ronan Jenkins and the others hurriedly crawled in the front of Kevin Bennett to apologize. Kevin didn't say anything. He only hoped that, after this incident, Ronan and the others would be able to learn their lesson. Not everyone was as compassionate as he was. Martin Henderson also heaved a sigh of relief. Kevin Bennett's performance had surprised him quite a bit. It was a huge difference compared to the other rich and powerful people that he had met. Not only was Kevin not conceited, but he also seemed to have an affinity with him. If Bob Pierce hadn't told him this, even he wouldn't have dared to believe that the person before him was someone from the Bennett family. And this person, He was riding on an electric bike. Martin Henderson couldn't help but look at the electric scooter that was kicked into pieces with a weird expression on his face.
"Young master, let's go in."
At this moment, Bob Pierce stood up with a smile. Kevin nodded slightly. Under Martin's lead, Kevin entered a villa that had the style of a European castle. The villa was elegantly decorated, without losing any nobility, and the jade-white walls were refreshing. Along the way, Martin Henderson introduced this villa to Kevin Bennett. This villa had the best location in Beverly Hills, and it had panoramic windows. People living in this villa could enjoy the beautiful scenery of the hill without going out. The villa had an area of over 500 square meters, with a swimming pool, gym, cinema, and small garden. In short, all the high-grade facilities were available in this villa. Martin had built this villa for his old age, so it was not for sale. However, after Bob Pierce expressed his wish to buy the villa yesterday, Martin naturally did not dare to refuse and sold the villa to Bob Pierce for the price of $8,000 per square meter. Although it was called selling, it was more like giving it away, because in terms of Beverly Hills, even the most ordinary of residences would cost $16,000 per square meter. This villa had the best location and scenery. Even if it was priced at $500,000 per square meter, countless people would rush to buy it. Kevin Bennett was very satisfied with this villa. He believed that his wife, Claire Wright, would be very happy if she lived in it.
"Young Master Kevin, it's getting late. I have prepared a luncheon at home. Would it be an honor if you could join and give me a chance to apologize?"
After taking Kevin Bennett to look at the villa, Martin Henderson asked tentatively. Although Kevin Bennett had already said that he didn't care about Ronan Jenkins and the others, Martin Henderson was still a bit nervous, afraid that Kevin Bennett would think too much into it after returning. "President Martin, you're too polite. What happened before is already in the past. I won't take it to heart. But I will develop my residence in the future, so I might have to trouble you to take care of me," Kevin Bennett said with a smile. From the moment he took over the business of the Bennett family, he had to interact with the rich and powerful families there. Martin Henderson was a smart person. If possible, Kevin wanted Martin to be his trusted aide.
"Ha! Young Master Kevin, you must be joking. I dare not to take care of you. In the future, if you need anything, just tell me. I will do my best to help."
Martin laughed heartily. Kevin smiled and did not say anything else. He was not stupid enough to believe Martin's words. The world was bustling with noise and excitement. It was all about profits. If he did not have Bennett family, a person like Martin Henderson would not even look at him. "Oh, right. Mr. Henderson, I see that Beverly Hills is quite big. Aside from this villa area, there are also many other places with very beautiful scenery and geographical locations. Why doesn't President Martin consider continuing to develop it?" Kevin Bennett suddenly asked. In 1919, Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford bought land on Summit Drive and built a mansion. Finished in 1921 and nicknamed Pickfair by the press. The glamour associated with Fairbanks and Pickford, as well as other movie stars who built mansions in the city, contributed to its growing appeal. However, because of the area the Beverly Hills occupied too, it was extremely difficult to develop it. So, it required an extremely high investment of funds. It was said that Martin Henderson had invested all of his financial resources and had only developed less than a quarter of his Beverly Hills. Facing this bottomless pit, Kevin Bennett had an idea.
Hey all, Kevin here. Can't wait for you to watch my story, The Billionaire Bastard. Season 1 is now streaming on the Pocket FM Universe YouTube channel. To watch the next episode, tap here, and to watch the full season, click on the playlist.